Slakia, this is going to be a part two because I don't know how to merge these videos or whatever, but I was about to read Revelations 3. Okay. Revelations chapter 3, verse 10. Okay, this is part two of the video, Watch Out for 666. This is the video in the 1980s, beginning of the 1980s, that was out over 40 years ago. And I stopped because I got cut off. Of course, somebody called me. I don't know why. You put it on Do Not Disturb and it still disturbs you. Come on now. Make that make sense. But Revelations 3 and 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, man. And this is that hour that the Lord will promise to come, all right, to the whole world, man. And in that day, then you're going to know who the Lord really chosen, man, to be his very elect. Those who deny, this mark, M-A-R-K, all right, the implementation of the M-O-T-B, all right, by way of a RFID chip implanted in their heads or in their right hands or in wherever in their body, okay? Nevertheless, this is what, okay, the wicked, all right, the beast system, all right, and revived of the Roman Empire, all right, as that beast system, okay, will ultimately try to bring upon the whole world, man, okay? And this will be a trial of your fidelity, man, because you got a lot of people that say, okay, that they're not going to take this thing, or I'm just going to try to finesse my way out of taking it or whatever it may be. Some people think that, it's going to be a choice, okay? Which at first I do believe, it just might be. It's like it just might be a choice, man, where they'll offer some type of incentive or a prize or a gift, all right, for receiving this thing. But ultimately, it'll destroy you, man, in the long run. It's like it. Excuse me for spitting if it sounds a little disgusting. But the Lord promises, man, that, he's, what's that, Ecclesiastes 7 and 7? It speaks about a gift, destroyed the heart, man. Okay? That gift or that incentive that they're going to ultimately try to offer you in the beginning, the stages of this thing, all right, will ultimately destroy you, man. And then they will put the world in a position where it will probably some type of false flag pandemic, some type of, I would say, let me see, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. One second. Yep. Salakia. I was trying to look for something. Yeah, so it would be some type of cyber attack, like a crisis, Well, you know what they say, man. You never let a good crisis go to waste, That's the elites, and the wicked's time to be able to transcend into another wicked system, okay? Never let a good crisis go to waste. So we believe that something like this, would happen, like a financial collapse. Of course, World War III, they're talking about maybe the Russians invading or Iran invading or whoever else the boogeyman is going to be. You see, it's always the boogeyman. They create a boogeyman, and then next thing you know, come to find out they're behind, all the false flags. All right, that they have been doing it, man. Come to find out, that they was behind that 9/11 situation with those small hatters, man. Okay, because now the wicked is being revealed, man. All right, as it speaks of in the book of Thessalonians. Okay, so now that wicked is being revealed, the Lord is putting a scope and an inquisition, all right, has been made for the wicked. Okay, and ultimately, they're gonna have their trial, all right, where the Lord is gonna judge the wicked, man. The Lord said he's preserving the wicked, for pretty much the day of evil, man. Okay, but nevertheless, let me go back to Revelations 3:11. It says, "Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown," man. Okay, because the Lord want to see us, you true believers out there who believe, all right, that this thing is ultimately going to take place. Okay, one of the prophecies is going to take place before the coming of our Lord. Okay, the Lord wants you to hold fast to this wisdom. Hold fast to your faith, man. Hold fast to this word, man. Okay, because this is a treasure, man. Okay, and guess what, man? Many people do not believe in this thing, man. Okay, but guess what? They've been putting it in your face for a very, very, very long time. Okay, now I'm just an 80s baby. And you know that they've been putting it in that predictive programming into their programming long before that, man. Okay? This is what these scriptures is for. These scriptures is here to build us up in faith. So when that hour of temptations, the trial of your faith will come, then you'll be able to withstand the evil day. Okay? You'll be able to withstand this evil day, man. This hour of temptation, man. Okay? Verse 12. He that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my power and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power. And I will write upon him my new name. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit said to the churches. Pretty much, whoever gonna understand is gonna understand, man. All right, So that's pretty much the point where the Lord promised us that He was gonna make us a pillar and joint heirs, man, for standing so stiffly, as the book of 2 Ezra chapter 2 speaks of. We're waiting on the Lord to crown us, with those immortal bodies. Okay, that crown of victory, all right, for standing so stiffly, even to the point of death. Okay, Scripture speaks of they loved not their lives unto the death. Okay, because they thought it would be better to die, to be with our Lord, than to be in servitude any longer. Okay, under this damn wicked rulers, man. Okay, so let me go back, because I got the lyrics to this song. Okay, and the name of the song, once again, is Watch Out for 666, man. That's the name of the song. It says, watch out for 666. It says, in a vision of the future, I saw in a vivid dream that the hour is incoming when men will become machines. And we just read to you in Revelation chapter 3 about the hour of temptation, man. Okay, now, of course, it's not going to be a 60-minute hour of what, we know as to be an hour. Okay, but pretty much a specific time, man. Okay, let me look at this word hour. Revelation 3 and see what that gives me. Okay, it's got to be an appointed time. Like Habakkuk chapter 2 speaks of. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, and the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and it would not tarry. And I just roughly paraphrased it, of course. But, it's an appointed time, man. Okay, but it says, hurrah. This is our.
Strong's G 5610, Hora.
Hurrah.
Hora.
Okay. Which it goes into a certain definite time or season fixed by natural law and returning with the revolving year of the seasons of the year, blah, 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 daytime, all right? Let me see if it has a metaphorically. Oh, it just says a point of time, that moment, man. Okay? So, of course, it's not going to be 60 minutes to where, 60 minutes or you going to have to figure this thing out. No, man. The Lord has given us the wherewithal, to be able to prepare ourselves, for this oncoming onslaught, man. Okay? He's preparing us right now, man. All right? He's preparing us for what? Temptation. Sirach chapter 2 speaks of that, man. My son, when thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. And the ultimate preparation is going to be this hour of temptation, man. Okay? Let me go back to this. These lyrics. It says, in a vision of the future, I saw in a vivid dream that the hour is incoming, when man will become machines. A new one world order, all right? Nuevus Ordo Seclorum, that's on your dollar bill, all right? Which is Latin for new world order, okay? It says a new world order will rise and then demand that all the world's people receive their scientific brand. Okay, well, now what is a brand? A brand is just like a mark, identifying mark. Let's look up this brand. Okay, and we're also going to get it in the blue letter as well too. Excuse me. I just want to see what the Adamon has to say about it. Okay, it says a brand, to impress or burn a mark upon with a hot iron. All right, cauterize, stigmatize. You see that? Like you would brand a horse or a cow, back in the days. Okay, now they would tag. Now I believe they do what they do it now is tag them, and they have like a QR code. That QR meaning quick response, okay, or some type of code, all right, that it goes to, all right, to where you can easily tag and trace and track, your commodity, man. Okay, and that's how these damn devils look at us, Anyway, man, goyim, and that's why they call them us goyim. These they look at us as, Gentile nations as commodity, man. No different than cattle. Okay, no different than a herd full of cows or a herd full of sheep. Okay. Well, that's how the Lord looks at us as well too. But the Lord provide for us, man. All right, and He take care of us, man. But this damn devil, he's a wolf. Okay. Posing himself to be a sheep, man. Okay? Because this is how he's going to try to implement this thing. He's going to bring in, we need to receive this thing, in order to identify, everybody or other, and just to make sure you're not an enemy. Make sure you're not a friend or foe when they are the ones, okay, that's actually behind all this thing, man. Okay? And because we're poor, okay, we don't know what the hell we're talking about, man. We're on the bottom of the totem pole because we're not rich and wealthy. We're not coming in the stead of a wealthy man. Hey, the scriptures say the poor man's wisdom is despised, man. Okay? But when a rich man speaks, all right, what they do is lift up their words to the clouds, man, and hold everything that rich, wealthy man says in high regard. But yet, this damn devil is tearing up the earth, man. Taking peace from the earth. Okay? But in the likes of Bill Kill Snakes, Elon Muskie, all those rich, wealthy motherfuckers, even though just to face these rich elites, all right? The 1%ers, I would say, hey, they don't get a bad rap, okay? And here we are, we're just letting you know, okay, what these devils is trying to implement, man. And they're wicked. We're letting them know it in their face. They're fucking wicked, man. Okay? And what they're trying to do is trace, track, and monitor their goyim, man, their commodity, which is the people, man. Okay? They are hunting for souls, man. Okay? This is what this whole thing is about. All right? They're trying to make their creation, man. Okay? Because they don't believe in the most high power, Yahweh. Okay? A fool has said it in his heart that there is no power, man. Now they're trying to be the most high power, man. Okay? So let me go back to these lyrics. It says, when men will become machines, a new one world order will rise and then demand that all the world's people receive their scientific brand. And guess what? It said a new one world order. Trust me, man. This is not going to be a regional thing, okay? This implementation will be global. This thing will happen across the four corners of the earth, man, okay? Don't think that, China is just the one who's making this thing or it's just America or it was just the state of... No, this is going to be a one world government. These nations although it look like that they're bickering and fighting over certain things, guess what? When it comes down to it, they are all going to come together under one consent, all right, to try to implement this MOTB, man. Okay? So it says, receive their scientific brand. It says, I saw a tiny programmed computer chip so thin implanted in men's forehead, man. Okay? Hey, the size of a grain of rice, man. Okay? Now, you still think that the MOTB, Revelation 13, all right, starting at verse 16 on down to 18, you still think that that's not the implementation of the RFID? Then you're mad, okay? You're mad, okay? And pretty much the Lord can't be dealing with you, man, because it's clear as day, okay? It says, a new one world. Okay, it says, I saw a tiny program computer chip so thin implanted in men's foreheads underneath their skin. You see? When you look up the word mark, it goes into charagma. All right. Then it goes into karax. All right. And then another root word for karax is grapho. Okay. And you're going to see through those definitions, all right, that they're planning, all right, to canal this RFID, which is the size of a grain of rice, underneath their skin. They're trying to impel it underneath your skin. Okay? This is the technology that they're coming up with. Okay? Technology that they can actually see and make use, but under your skin, to where all your data is going to be accessible with that RFID, the size of a grain of rice. Okay? And they'll be able to trace, track, and monitor you and control your every move, man. Okay? It says, underneath the skin, it says, linking all its bearers to the system's central brain, the master computer that over them will reign. And this is why, all across the earth, they're building these data centers, man. Okay? They're building these data centers and, collecting the information, using the earth's resources, the water, okay, the land, or whatever it may be. Okay? They're moving in on the ranks, man. They're setting up the chess pieces. Okay? By them setting up these chess pieces, man, they're slowly, gradually, introducing this thing to society. Okay? And before the frog understands that he's getting boiled to death, it'll be too late. And this is what the prophets on the highways and byways has been warning you, all right, for a very long time. Okay, that this thing is coming. So prepare for it. Okay? It says the master's computer that over them will reign. Watch out for 666 and their computer chip that is designed to strip you of your self-control. You see? Don't sell your soul. Okay? It says men's thoughts will be programmed by this new technology. Those who take the number, their slaves will always be. It says, so hearken to this warning. It is, if it's life and love you choose, then you'll follow the what? The truth. It says, and that mark you will refuse. Okay? It says, watch out for 666 and their computer chip that is designed to strip you of your self-control. Watch out for 666 and their computer chip that is designed to strip you of your self-control. Don't sell your soul. Don't sell your soul. Watch out for 666. You see? And this will be the trial of one's faith, man. Let's get Revelation 13. This is Revelation chapter 13. Starting at verse 14. Slovakia. Revelations 13 and 14. It said, and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. It says, which had the wound by the sword and did live. Okay? Which is the beast system is really just the Roman Empire. All right? Pretty much reinvented on the face of the earth. Okay? In the form of the United Nations. All right? In the form of NATO. These alliances that form together. All right? And conspire together. All right? To continue to deceive the whole earth. Okay? Well, that beast system is going to be implemented, and and they're going to give power to that beast system, okay, to the image, okay, and those miracles, all right, that this technology is going to be performing, is going to be life-changing miracles, man. This is why people is going to be in awe over this technology, man, over this AI infrastructure, man, artificial intelligence, okay? Because they're going to, make the blind see, make the where you can't hear, you're gonna start hearing. Okay, people who's deaf is gonna start hearing. Okay, these miracles that they're gonna perform will be miracles of the scriptures. Now, of course, it's not gonna be how our Lord Yahweh Shai performed the miracles, because of course they're gonna have to go into your skin or do some type of procedure, medical procedure, and this is not medical information, of course, but this type of procedure where they're gonna need a fucking a scalpel, a knife, go inside your brain, go inside your, okay. But nevertheless, if somebody was who couldn't talk or who couldn't move their limbs, okay, or who couldn't hear, they start to see those things, they start to hear those things, they start to move, a paraplegic or quadriplegic who could never move their limbs, now they start moving. Oh man, that'll be a miracle, man. Okay? All right? And don't get me wrong, that would be a sight to see. All right? But it's a price that come with that. And the price is your life. Okay? That price is your life. So what good is that? If a man gain his whole gain a world, able to see, able to talk, able to feel, able to touch, able to talk, whatever, okay? But you lose your spirit, you lose your soul, man. What profits you? Okay? So yeah, it's gonna be miracles, all right? Don't get me wrong. But guess what? Those miracles, really, they're trying to make you as an idol, man. Okay? They're trying to make you be the one to be an idol, man. Okay? Because all the gods of the nations are idols, man. Okay? And what more of a good idol? Because back in ancient times where they used to build all these other nations, and of course, Israel got into that same folly that these other nations was doing. Idol worshiping was beginning, the ending, and the midst of, sin. Okay? But we started to take on those customs, man, and started to worship idols. Okay? But those idols couldn't save us. Okay? But now, guess what? Through that technology, through that AI infrastructure, okay, they're able to bring life and give life, all right, to their idols. Okay? And you the fucking idol. Verse 15, Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, man. Okay? And that word killed really just goes into being cut off from society. China has that social credit score to where if you're not socially intact, okay, with the system, you will be cut off from society for a certain amount of time. Okay? It was almost as if like you never existed. Watch the movie Enemy of the State. Okay? And if you can't buy, you can't sell, you can't be able to work to provide for yourself, provide for your family and shit like that, you're just as good as dead. What good are you if you can't do those certain things, man? Okay? And ultimately, they're going to behead you, They're going to throw a lot of us in prison, all right? They're going to put a lot of us to death, as the scriptures say, Be now faithful unto death, though, and the Lord promised you a crown of life, which is immortality forever. You hear me? But it says, and calls them that, And he had power, verse 15, Revelations 13 and 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Let's look at this word life, okay? Because in ancient times, the idols couldn't speak, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, okay? Couldn't breathe, all right? But in this time, they're going to bring life to these idols. And guess what? Them idols are going to come to life and be animated, okay? Where's this word life? This word life is pneuma.
Strong's G 4151. Pneuma. Pneuma.
Okay. It's a definition in here that I wanted. Just a lot of okay. It says, one of the definitions said a life-giving spirit, a human soul that has left the body. Oh, a human soul that has left the body. Okay, here's one of the definitions. It says, used of demons or evil spirits who were conceived as inhabiting the bodies of men. Look at that. Okay? So, giving yourself up, all right, to this beast system, to the image, to its mark, guess what? You're going to be possessed by the demons. You're going to be possessed by Satan. Okay? To where, hey, somebody else will be in control of your body. You will no longer be in control of what you eat, what you think, what you smell, what you taste, your actions. Look at that movie, Implanted. Okay? The movie Implanted is a perfect example because in that movie,